Are you ready for the best Kansas City Chiefs insight? Welcome to Four Guys in a Bar podcast, sponsored by Chiefs Blitz and presented by Dave Purdy with Supreme Lending. For your mortgage solutions, call Dave today at 816-405-5831. That's 816-405-5831 because he's pretty good. Here's your Chiefs Blitz host, Nick Athan, with Lou Montagna, Andre Tillman, and Hense Todd.
Welcome back to the next edition of Four Guys in a Bar, presented by Chiefs Blitz. I'm your host, Nick Athan. You can follow me at Chiefs Insider. Next to me is my producer extraordinaire, Mr. Hense Todd. Sorry about that. I'm tongue-tied already this morning. We were barely 30 seconds into the show. You can catch his work every Saturday with Coach Dre at Bowtie Sports on YouTube. It's a great show, 1 o'clock on Saturdays. Hence, welcome. So before we get started on the show, I want to introduce our first sponsor, and that would be my very good friend, Mr. Eric Haynes with the Eric Haynes Group. He is your real estate advisor. What does that mean? Well, if you're looking to buy a house, you're looking to sell a house, you need somebody who's going to walk you through the entire process. He's done that for me and my wife, Emily, and I found a house. He has been gracious. He has been kind. He has invested a lot of time, and he's made sure that every I is dotted, every T is covered, and that we put a good offer together. We found the right package. We found everything that worked, and he made sure it went through. We closed in a week and a half, so we're excited about that. Again, you want someone who can find you a house and get you your keys. It takes time these days to buy and sell a house, but he's your one-man show, one-man crew. Give him a call at 816-729-3785. Also proud sponsor of Chiefs Who. And with that, we're going to bring in the other members of our team. Mr. Lou Montagna, has his back-to-back Super Bowl champion banner. Coach Dre, who's sporting Kansas City. Boy, they got to learn how to close out ball games because they've given 2 away already this year. Wins into ties. And that's, of course, Coach Dre. And welcome back, gentlemen. We are here on a Wednesday. It is Chiefs Who Day, so we'll have a Chiefs Who segment later in the show. That is also sponsored by Eric Haynes at the Eric Haynes Group. Well, guys, L'Jarius Sneed has officially been traded. The Chiefs now have a plethora of cap space available, roughly $26,320 and $968 for their top 51. So that means they've got a little bit of room outside of their draft picks, which are going to be about $5 to $7 million. So they have some room to do some really cool things. But the NFL made a lot of noise this week. Chiefs have cap space, and now we're getting some new rules into the game, something that hasn't really happened of any significance in a really, really, really long time. Hence, roll tape, run the show. There it is. This is the new format, the NFL hybrid kickoff, to where you're going to see the teams line up 10 yards or 5 yards apart between the 30 and the 40. There's a landing zone. The kickoff will remain at the 35-yard line. So the kicker is going to be out there all by themselves. I think Justin Reed should be the kicker on kickoffs just because he would be a better end of defense than Harrison Buckner trying to tackle people. This is going to create a lot of freedom. This is going to create a lot of opportunities to bring special teams back into the relevancy of, the NFL. This also probably means that Kadarius Toney will be on the Chiefs roster next year because he would be the perfect person to be that guy who's handling these kickoffs. And I find it fascinating. It's kind of the XFL model. It makes a lot of sense. We talked about this on the show Monday. Scoring is down by 6 to 7 points per game. Defenses there. We'll talk about the defense getting hammered here in a few minutes after we talk about this. But the rule is there to create a little bit more excitement. And in the NFL, in their wisdom, they stole the camera, the camera over the field from the XFL, and now they're stealing what I think is a pretty good kickoff rule.
Right.
Luke, you got something going on in the background. What is that?
Where's what?
What's that noise in the background?
Well,
We had snow over the weekend. I mean, and now some wackos out here, they're mowing their lawns. So gotta love it. I mean, it's like 40 some degrees. I'm not even close to thinking about it, but hey, you do you. Now again, it's a service, so I'm assuming that they get paid by the mow. So God bless them. So if you hear that blower in the background or engine, that's just Erie, Pennsylvania for you.
Can't make no money if you're not cutting that grass.
Absolutely, man.
Snow be damned.
So I think it's cool that the NFL in some regards they're not so static or stayed in their ways. They see something where the game's going in a certain direction and they're willing to make changes, right? So this ought to be pretty interesting. Now, again, I've read some of the rules. I've heard some of the things. Formationally, I mean, it's almost like you get a kick returner, breaks that line. I mean, it's like a zero blitz. I mean, you break the line of scrimmage and you're gone.
Yep.
But by the same token, as I'm looking at this, I'm also thinking guys like Dave Tobe or whatever, those guys can't move until somebody catches the ball. How many of those X's are going to maybe peel back once the returner catches the ball? And how many of them, I mean, obviously a good portion of them are going to be coming forward, but how many peel back just in case they do break that kind of line? Because once again, it's like breaking the line of scrimmage on a zero blitz. There's nobody left. You're gone.
Right.
So to your point about having Justin Reed back there, that's a pretty good idea. But I just think it's cool. I mean, Cordero Patterson got back in the league right now because of it, rejoining Arthur Smith in Pittsburgh. One of the teams, I don't know if it was Minnesota, somebody signed an XFL kicker, somebody that's got some experience with the new rules. So it's exciting. You just hope there's not like 10 kickoff returns for touchdown week one. And we're like, this is crazy.
Let's do it. I'm all in for it. I think it's great. I mean, we grew up in the Nolan Smith and the Ed Podolak and then Dante Hall and, just that whole period of time where, every time a guy like that was in special teams, he could score. And, they've changed the rules. I know they're trying to avoid the injuries on the kickoffs and concussions in particular. Again, I think Lee make good, but they'll probably peel some guys back defensively, but there's going to be less traffic, for these players to go through because of the formation. And you get a speedy, shifty guy like Patterson's just going to chew this rule up. He's power and speed. That's why I think Kadarius Toney would be perfect in this role. If this is all he does for the Chiefs and he's the 7th wide receiver, I'm totally fine with that. But what you're going to see in the draft coming up, and you guys probably this is an area we probably need to focus is you're going to start looking at all these return guys that generally are undrafted free agents. And, after the 7th round, you're going to see some of these guys probably taken, in the high 6s and in 7th round that
the more you can do.
Yeah. The more you can do.
So all these receivers that have the kick return abilities, I mean, they ratchet up a little bit. It'll be interesting to see because if you kick it through the end zone, they get the ball at the 30. I mean, it's not like, very punitive. If it goes out of bounds, you still get the 40. And then there's some other weird rules that if it doesn't get to a certain point and so forth. But, again, the guy, then now also the kicker that can place the ball, strategically becomes, a little bit more important. So, yeah, I mean, these special teams coaches, it gives them a lot more to think about, a lot more strategically, and it employs more players, which of course is big for the league and the guys, the Players Association.
Yep.
Well, can we give a shout out to the XFL, man? Can we get a real shout out to the XFL?
Innovators.
The XFL, man. They are changing the
Vince
game.
McMahon, baby. The Rock,
Vince McMahon. Can we give some love to the XFL for enhancing the game of football? I mean, the rule, I love the rule. It makes it fun.
How soon before guys are allowed to put their nicknames on their backs? Right?
Ooh, I like that. I like that.
My personal favorite. He hate me.
And you got a shot in the NFL too. But they didn't allow He hate me on his jersey though.
Yeah.
But I think about it, it's like me being a Madden player, I'm trying to see how how can I scheme around this, because right now it's easy to return kicks right now on Madden. But again, looking at this, Jesus Christ, that was loud.
They're getting busy over there. They're getting busy over there, boy.
But looking at this, hey, if we return the kicks. And you using Tony in that role, the way he got an ability to shake up people and the ability to have to be like a Dante Hall. Hey, I'm all for it. I'm all for it to see what happens. But it's a lot of stuff that's changing in the NFL. Is they going to copy the style of the XSL? We don't know.
They should. XFL is exciting, man. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of people now. What happens is now XFL about to get a lot of attention. They're getting a lot of attention now because of the rule changes and it making the league fun. Mm-hmm. You got to give it to them.
Well, they got their attention. They merged with the USFL.
Yeah, they did.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Yes,
so that was a wise investment by The Rock. He needs more cash.
You know who's going to be punished the most with this new rule?
What's that?
It's going to be the Madden game developers who all of a sudden have to add all this stuff into their game.
Right.
So they're going to do that. So hey, let's answer a few questions here. We'll get to Frank here in a minute. He mentioned Anonymous Mango mentioned, I think Nico Remigio walks right into this team as a kick returner. Yeah, I mean, he was terrific last year in returns and wide receiver. He's definitely one of those guys that I think is going to be one of the 6 that they carry, provided he's healthy. He'll be a full year removed from the ACL tear come, I think, August. So there's a good chance he could be ready for the opening season. Lego My Ego. I like the hybrid kickoff rule. I like the new challenge rule. I see the challenge rule getting updates as the seasons go on. And if people don't know what he's referring to is if you get 2 challenges right now. If you have a successful challenge, they will give you a third. So which could come in handy because there's been a lot of situations where late in games, these teams would like to have an extra one. So I think that's pretty fascinating. Kareem was upset they didn't sign Cordell. The Chiefs didn't sign Cordell Patterson. I think it was a lock. He was going to go play for his old coach. It was a good place for him. Pittsburgh's making a lot of moves. I think that's definitely something that, you have to look at. But I would have liked to have seen him in a Chiefs uniform. I think it'd be great.
Really?
Patterson. Yeah, I do.
That's a lot of depth, though. That's a lot of
backup running back.
Chiefs got a lot of good guys that can go back there and get busy too. Though,
I just like the way I like him on special teams, man. He's a baller in special teams. And hey, listen,
he is.
You need every advantage. I mean, now the NFL is going to expect, and teams are going to expect that you're going to score more than field goals on your special teams. So.
Does Dante Hall have a few left in him?
Bring
back the X Factor.
Dante Hall killed this rule. He'll murder this rule. It's over.
Yeah, definitely.
But looking at the rules, the Raiders out here, they are making up other rules in Raider Nation, talking about they have the key ingredient to beating the Chiefs. Ever since the Super Bowl, the team has, ever since the Super Bowl, it's been a Max Crosby show. So he's been inviting all his friends on the show. They've been talking, trash about the Kansas City Chiefs. What you have to say about this, Nick? Because you wanted us to talk about this. What you guys?
Well, I still continue it. Absolutely fascinating that we're still talking about, the comments that these Raiders players are making. And here's the latest one from Steve W., who's got 400 followers, but nonetheless, it was pretty amusing. Ever since the Chiefs, were at the Super Bowl, playing in the Raiders' house, it's been all scorched earth. Listen, the Raiders haven't won crap in a long time. They're not going to win crap for a long time. They don't have a reliable quarterback. They've got a rah-rah head coach, and the last time we had a rah-rah head coach in the AFC West, it was Frank Gans. That's who the players wanted, and I think they won 5 games that next year, or 4 games that next year. So be careful what you wish for. Listen, Max Crosby is the best defensive player in the NFL in my book. from a pass rushing standpoint. He loves playing against the Chiefs. He loves the challenge. But to sit here and to keep stating the stale old comments, the Raiders, I mean, they were projected to be a 5 or 6 win team this year by the new odds that came out. I think it was PFF that came out, and that's what they indicated. So I just, again, I don't get it. I don't get how anybody thinks there's a single team in the AFC West that can challenge the Chiefs. And every time I see one of these guys put this post up, I'm just thinking and going, they can talk all they want to, but Patrick Mahomes is not going to do a pick six and fumble the snap on the next play next year. And that's the only reason they won that football game.
Well, it is the non-playing season, so what else is there besides a bunch of guys talking smack? I don't know. Right. You got to like it that they feel passionate about their team, and they like to say things, and you know they've made some additions. I'll give a little bit more respect to Antonio Pierce. I think he's a little bit more than a rah-rah coach. Great defensive player. I mean, Spags has the ultimate respect for him in terms of his mentality and what he was able to put on him while he was coaching him. Got some experience at the college level at Arizona State. Obviously has some ties to Jaden Daniels. So, you know, we'll see what happens there. But not that it's going to make them a winner anytime soon. But I think it was a pretty decent choice in terms of going after a coach like that. But yeah, until you get a quarterback in place, start winning some games in the division, then maybe the smack talk lands a little bit differently. But right now, winning a game in Kansas City, on Christmas Day, there's so many different variables around that game that made it almost a perfect storm for them to win it. Or at least be in the game. That's anyway. Yeah, we hoisted the Lombardi at the end. Okay.
This is my thing. This is my thing. You can't knock any team's confidence to go against the big dogs. You gotta love it. You gotta love it because I mean, let's face facts. The Raiders came in. They brought it. They beat the Chiefs. That's what it is. And Max Crosby is one of the young greats of the generation, like one of the great pass rushers though. So. I love the trash talk, man. Keep it coming. It gives the Chiefs more momentum. You know what I'm saying? But it's giving the Raiders confidence. So I'm like, come on with it. Come on, talk trash, talk it, and talk your trash. I want it.
I'm with Lou, man. It's like it's the off season. Nobody have nothing to do, so everybody hyping up their team. They like, oh, it's the NFL drafts coming up. We draft this person. Oh, this is
the hope season, right?
Yeah.
We used to live for this when the Chiefs weren't winning or whatever. You couldn't wait. The season ended, and you're like, okay, thank God that was unfortunate. That wasn't really a lot of fun. So now, hey, let's go get some guys. Let's get some free agents. Let's maybe one of these draft picks blows up, whatever. And so here they are talking. Again, it's great. It's great for us to talk about, but again, I don't think the players really give a crap. It's all about the work now.
Well, yeah. I mean, I even had Chargers fans getting on me because I made another Justin Herbert trade to the Minnesota Vikings, and they're like, "Are you going to trade Patrick Mahomes to the Lions?" I'm like, "No, I'm just throwing stuff out there." I mean,
we have our own Mike Tannenbaum here.
Yes, on our this show. Is it.
And Nick had that trade. I think Mike T had Kyler Murray being traded to Minnesota, right?
I heard
that yesterday.
I heard a crazy rumor. It was a crazy rumor.
In his mock draft, he had Arizona and them trading like 11, 23, maybe some other assets to get up the trade to Arizona would trade back. And they'd collect those assets, and Kyler Murray would go to Minnesota. Which, again, I mean, to his logically, it's not that bad because they actually would pay Kyler Murray less than they were paying Kirk Cousins. Arizona, who is in no way, shape, or form ready to win. Now they'll be better. I think they played really hard last year. They got some big wins, but you've got a $50 million $45 million quarterback with not much around him. reset that clock, get a rookie in there, and let it fly. So it's an interesting proposal. I just kind of came out of left field.
It's kind of like this. I'll tell you, like everybody got their mock drafts on what should we do? Should we trade down? Speaking of Arizona, should we trade down or whatnot? And my thing is this: we are established who we are. We just need another receiver. Add more depth to the defense. Everybody got their own visions on what they want. But at the end of the day,
so
you gotta get more.
You get mad if Caleb Williams start falling and they try to trade up and get Caleb Williams for the Cardinals?
I don't see that's a possible situation, sir.
I'm just saying if it was.
Yeah, I don't think.
Because if it was, then you know what I mean. Hey, Kyler Murray,
because Caleb Williams already is solidified his spot is going number one anyway. So
we don't doubt that even.
You just said you just say it's a possibility of that.
Possibility of that.
Nah,
but again, looking at talk about everybody else that's talking about these.
Right.
The Chiefs are going to do this. The Raiders saying that everybody's hype with their team, but there's one team that helped the Chiefs get there. Where they at now. It's the Buffalo Bills, and the person that they picked with that Patrick Mahomes pick has signed with the Rams. It's like everybody that's that took their shot to beat the Chiefs, and they players are going here, going there. Yeah. And the Chiefs are still have they core together. So, what y'all think about him signing here? I would, if I was the Chiefs, I would, pull that card and I would sign them, just for the fun of it.
Yeah, just to piss off the Bills fans. I mean, I thought that was a pretty hefty price tag, to be honest with you. And that could be why Justin Simmons hasn't signed yet. I'm hopeful the Chiefs at least reach out to him, maybe make an offer to him and see what they can do. But this appears to be the price, for a good secondary player. And, I listen, I was surprised. I mean, I didn't think he'd go back to Buffalo, but I didn't think he'd go to the Rams. So, again, this is the guy that the Chiefs, ultimately the pick that went to the Bills, this is who they got. And I think Kansas City, it's worked out pretty good for the Chiefs.
Right.
Yeah. As far as White's concerned, I mean, it's all about his health. I mean, I think he's played like 10 games the last 2 years, and he's been unfortunate. I don't know that he was an unhealthy guy at LSU or when he came out. He's just been kind of unfortunate the last few years. Now it's worth up to $10 million. I think it was like 5 or 6 in guarantees. I don't know that the Chiefs were ready to do that, and especially for a player you're unsure of in terms of health with the young corners that they have. They're probably going to be a little bit more judicious with how they spend that cap space that they have. But hey, the Rams offered the money, so that's where he went. As far as Simmons is concerned, the safety market's a little bit different. Now that's depressed. I mean, you saw the safeties being unloaded, going into the offseason, into free agency, and not many of them have signed, and not for big bucks. So as good as Simmons is, again, teams are looking at the draft saying we can draft safeties and it's going to be a hell of a lot cheaper than Justin Simmons. But some team, a contending team, will come around and say, yeah, we'll take him. Maybe he's an all-pro player.
Right. But again, White, I wish the Chiefs would pick them up, because that would have been an ultimate troll move. But again, man, it's like you guys are saying, man, it doesn't matter what. What's out there. It's a lot that's coming out in this draft. Like you got TJ Temple, you got Mitchell from Toledo. You got a lot of guys that's coming out this draft that you can pick up, and a lot of people, that's why these cornerbacks and safeties are sitting out there like that, because nobody ain't trying to pick them up because what you're gonna get out in the draft. These guys are coming in more faster, they coming in more stronger, and they coming more intelligent. Some of these guys are cheaper, and they killing the boards. They killing the boards left and right. So, hey, if the Rams get some good out of him, because he was a good player before he got hurt. The thing is he just couldn't stay healthy. But so what people in the comments are saying about it, Dre?
All right, well, first of all, Anonymous Mango said trade first round picks with the Rams and give the Titans the third next year. LA Rams typically trade back, so we could go up to 19 and grab us a left tackle.
When's the last time the Rams had a first round pick? They've traded him away for, between
Mhm.
Jalen Ramsey and Von Miller, all these guys. Yeah. And they finally have a first round pick. It'd be interesting to see what they do with it. Yeah.
They'll trade it. They'll trade it.
That's a good thought there.
All right, Joseph says this. Are we putting Sneed's money in the bank to draw interest or what? Now that it's official, I figure we dabble a little.
Well,
Joseph, be patient, man. Be patient. It's been a couple of days.
The official signing didn't happen until yesterday. Has to go to the league office for approval, and now the salary cap has been adjusted as of this morning. So, as I mentioned, the Chiefs have quite a bit of capital available to them to do whatever they want. J.K. Dobbins is now cleared to play. You still got OBJ. There's definitely some options the Chiefs have. We mentioned Simmons. So I don't think they're going to sit on their laurels. I just think they wanted to be sure that everything went through with the contract. Sneed passed his physical, which he did. He's officially a Tennessee Titan. And so now Brett Veach can spend the rest of this week and the weekend and see what they can do. But this is my number one guy is J.K. Dobbins. He's been cleared by Dr. Neil Elatrache. I don't know if that's correct or not.
They say Elatrache.
Elatrache. I'll go Elatrache.
He did Rogers' Achilles. He did Kobe's Achilles. West Coast guy. He's like the top.
Yeah, no, he's got a new. And what's fascinating is he's got a new procedure that pulls the tendon together versus trying to sew it up. So it was pretty interesting. There was a video on it that we saw right after the Aaron Rodgers surgery that was pretty fascinating. But he is a guy that, I think fits if he's healthy. He doesn't have to be the number one. He can share duties with Isaiah Pacheco. You need a good 1-2. I don't know if they're going to bring Jerick McKinnon back. It doesn't sound like they're going to bring Clyde Edwards-Helaire back. So right now they've got to get some depth at running back. They had a couple guys in camp last year that really never materialized. They had a couple of chances in the regular season, but finding another running back, I think, is pretty big. And to me, Dobbins fits the mold.
Yeah, and I would think, again, since he's just cleared, teams are going to be very leery, I guess, at the beginning. And I don't know. Pacheco has seemed to he's the poster boy now for all these teams. We can get a guy late in the draft and he can be as good as anybody that we have. So why overpay at the position? I like him too, Nick. I think he would be a great addition, but I would imagine late in the draft, UDFA, they're going to bring in somebody that's going to compete as well. So, and you still got a couple of guys from last year that are still on the team. P. Ryan, Deneric Prince. Do they like him? We'll see. But there's certainly a bunch of guys. The kid that I think I sent it out in the group me. Dane Brugler was talking about him. We had talked about him a few weeks ago after the Senior Bowl. The kid from Marshall, Rasheen Ali. One of these guys that he's probably not going to go in the third, fourth, fifth. He may not even get drafted because of the injury he had at the Senior Bowl. But he looks like an explosive player. He could certainly fit the bill. The kid from Louisville that is blown up in the after, Isaac Garendo, I think he transferred from Tennessee, has just had an amazing lead up to the draft so far. So a lot of names out there, but again, with the injury, it's always hard to fork up that money to a vet.
Hey, I'll take my shot on. Isaiah Pacheco, J.K. Dobbins. If he's healthy, he's a good running back. You know what I mean? So if when healthy he is, I'm with Nick. I would take that chance on him. But again, it depends on what the Chiefs going to do with this money. A lot of people saying Odell Beckham. A lot of people saying they're going to Stan Creed or Trey Smith or Justin is on his one. He got 1 year left on his contract. So what we going to do there? So hey, if I'm the Chiefs, I will look at it, take the chance on it. But other than that, it's a lot of running backs that's coming out this draft.
So could Simmons be the Justin Reed flip. So they let Justin Reed play out his contract. You bring in Justin Simmons. Again, it's all about the dollars. How much can they get Simmons to extend for versus what they are going to have to pay Justin Reed? Now, again, I mentioned it before. The safety market is depressed. It's not huge money. And in the Chiefs defense, I think Justin Reed plays maybe a bigger role than the typical safety does. So again, they have to weigh all that out.
Well, I like J.K. Dobbins with that real quick. I like him because of the depth, guys. You got to remember, man, Pac is good, but he ain't no big guy. So to me, we can bring any running back back there to help any decent running back back there, even for cheap. It doesn't matter. He needs some help back there because what happened is they're gonna run him in the dirt.
Well, they need a complimentary back. They need somebody like him that can, cut back, change direction. He has a little bit more speed. He has some elusiveness. He reads holes well. You need that. Pacheco's kind of he's still kind of limited in reading the offensive line.
Somebody like Jet McKinnon.
Well, I mean, they need a younger Jet McKinnon.
Right. I just bring that up because
you're right.
I think it's funny. Everybody says, so we just gave up on Jet. No, they'll do the same thing they did last year. Sometime in June, if they don't have somebody better, they'll bring him back. There's not going to be a huge market for a 30-plus running back that plays part-time. So he's probably going to still be there.
He's going to be available. It's going to depend on what they do. But, Andy likes to have a guy who's got NFL experience, likes to have two guys that have NFL experience at the running back position. And I think that definitely would be something that you have to look at and say, if he's healthy, 1 year prove it deal. And who knows? I mean, it's good insurance for Pacheco. It still allows him to either develop a couple of the backs, P. Ryan from last year, see if he can take that next step. If not, you draft another kid in the sixth or the late rounds and you take your chances. But Dan, to answer his question, I don't think the Chiefs are going to put the money in the pocket of the bank. I think they're going to take the money out and start spending. I don't think it's going to be crazy money, but that's where I would start, would be with Dobbins.
Yeah, and I think there's impatience out there, and I joke with Joseph, but we all feel that way. Geez, go get somebody. They really don't need a whole lot. I mean, especially when you're going to be drafting, 6 or 7 more guys to throw into the mix. You're not just going to just throw money at people. The Chiefs aren't in that position where they have to bring in more talent. They have the ability to, and the luxury, in terms of the draft. So it'll be very judicious as far as these veterans at the end of the free agency period.
Yeah, they're not desperate, and they're not going to act. They're not going to act that way.
Only thing I say in the draft, guys, you get a left tackle. We deep with every position. Wide receiver, DB. We get tackle.
They're going to draft it. They're going to draft a tackle.
You gotta go first round for a tackle. If he's available, we go tackle. That's simple. That's simple as that.
But anonymous Mango is speaking again, blaspheming 50 Shades. Man, I'm not going to take it. Damn it. 83 all day. Noah Gray. 50 Shades. Now enough of that.
50 Shades. 50 Shades. I mean,
I think he's got a point. So we'll see.
He probably does. But I'm all about 50 Shades. Come on.
I know.
Before we get into more of the comments, let's hear more from our sponsor. Go ahead, Nick.
All right, let's talk about my good friend, Mr. Dave Purdy with Supreme. Give Dave a call at 816-405-5831. He is your mortgage expert. If you're a 1099 employee or you're a W-2, it makes a big difference in how you secure a loan because the banks look at you differently. And you need somebody who understands the numbers, he understands where your debt is, understands what you're looking for from a house perspective. He makes sure that the numbers work and he gets you a great rate, as he did for me and my wife, Emily. Don't think you can't buy a house right now. Don't think that the rates are high. You have to go with a lender and a person who understands and has access to a lot of great rates, and that's what Dave did for us. So give Dave a call at 816-405-5831. Just give him a call, have him take a look at your current situation, see what your debt ratios are, see if you got any high credit card debt. Maybe you can refi, consolidate to a second. There are a lot of options out there. Don't be caught suffering from paying a higher rate and also paying high interest credit cards. Let him evaluate it. Give him a call at 816-405-583 when we love Dave, because he is pretty good.
Hey, but like, go ahead and get some comments, Dre. What did Mango say about Noah?
Well, he said, "Hey, I love me some Noah too." He said, "I'm putting on here, dear fellas. He loves some Noah."
Yes.
And he said, "No relation to Brock.
No, he's not relation to Brock. Our Purdy's better than Brock, no question."
But to answer your question, Mango, we'll see in the draft. If they do draft a tight end, then certainly Noah will be on notice for sure. Pick up the pace.
They signed Smith, and I think Smith is an under-noticed signing.
Absolutely.
And I think he's going to be the number 2 when it's all said and done.
Oh, come on, Nick.
It's another comment that came in. Andre
Coach now, March 27th.
The calls are coming from inside the house.
Hold on. Andre says we have to go left tackle. That's crazy.
Oh man,
that's crazy.
Have we ever blocked someone?
Yeah, that's what I'm about to do.
Coach, what? Coach, come on, what? Who? What? Who?
No, but listen though. I believe this. If the left tackle is available, we have to take him, because guys, every position is sold. Yeah, we go depth in the right running back. We have to go left tackle, man. It's like it's not even rocket science right now, because what happens is, guys, he's always running. Patrick Mahomes is always running for his life. Right? We can talk about the rookie Morris. We can talk about Taylor on this side. He's a penalty guy. Morris is getting beat. We need somebody that's going to solidify that left side, man. Mm-hmm. And why not? We got to go tackle, man. You know, receivers can come in the second round. Who cares? We got to go to get that foundation corrected, guys. Yeah. So I preach left tackle first. Don't care about the weapons.
So, Amanda, what did Mango say, Nick?
Well, you know, he said Brendan Rice and Xavier Leggett excite me. They are visiting the Chiefs. There is a plethora of guys that are going to be visiting. I think we got his list here.
Big bodies.
Kingsley, Javon Baker, Jalen Polk, Rice, Leggett, sure. Anthony Gold are all having top 30 visits with the Chiefs. Some of these guys are smoke screens, but generally speaking,
one guy ain't some smoke screen.
Listen,
one guy ain't a smoke screen, because when I asked Patrick Mahomes about Brennan Rice, his face kind of lit up. So I'm just saying.
So Bo, who you taking, Xavier Leggett or Brennan Rice?
All right,
I'm taking Brennan Rice.
Dre, that's the guy. That's the guy you want to do some work on in terms of left tackle. He named Kingsley, and I don't want to butcher his last name, but it's on there. He's a Utah offensive lineman, offensive tackle, not Utah, but BYU, which makes him instant Suamatia, makes him an Andy Reid guy. So that might be one to watch.
I've seen him, Lou. He is nice. That's what I'm saying, man. Like somebody great does fall. That's what somebody great does fall left tackle.
Probably not in the first round, but they're going to draft. They're going to draft a tackle. I think they will please you, Coach. I just don't know. Again, if the right one falls, absolutely, but it's probably not going to be in the first round.
So Brennan Rice
in the first round, though.
What do you say after this, Nick? What's the next
player available, regardless?
Brendan Rice is the one. He'd love to see him in KC with diamonds, like Super Bowl ring diamonds, or that Jerry Rice is going to sport his 4 Super Bowl rings at all Chiefs home games.
I'm trying to tell you guys, go look at Brendan Rice. Nobody want to listen to me. Everybody gonna hate if he on the Bengals, or hate if he on the Raiders, or hate on somebody else. I'm gonna say, I told y'all on this show multiple times. Go look at this kid route running. Go look how he plays and catch the ball. I'm just saying.
But who do you trust? We talked about this before the show. Who do you trust, Xavier Leggett or Brendan Rice?
I'm taking Brendan Rice.
Man, do your research. What? Over Leggett?
I think you take Rice just because he knows how to play in a Patrick Mahomes offense.
Yeah,
every snap. So it's not like Rice had to learn. Rashee Rice had to learn. He had to learn how to. He never experienced anything like that at SMU. I mean, nothing prepared him for Patrick Mahomes, and it took him, training off-season, training camp, into the regular season, and he by the time we got to the Bears game, he started to show flashes, and then the second half of the season, all the lights were clicking, everything was working, and you take the other Rice, and you look at his college experience and who he's throwing the quarterback to, and how poor that USC offensive line is and was. Those two had to do a lot of improv.
Thank you,
and
Joseph.
he has an educational. He's got NFL 101 already built. And listen, I mean, I'll take either one. I don't care, but I think Rice has a huge advantage now. Is he gonna fall into the second round? More than likely, he's not a first round guy. I don't think anybody's going to take him in the first round.
I know. Nick said something before this. You said it's a smoke. I heard you say it's a smoke screen. I think Leggett is a smoke screen because everybody think that they're going to think she's going to take him, and they don't want Brennan Rice to. I'm telling you guys, they don't want Brennan Rice to fall. Like he has the best man if they played the position coaching him since he was a baby.
Yeah,
the man that ever played the best position ever. Nobody gonna catch Jerry Rice's yards. I'm not saying his son is gonna be like him. No. I'm just saying like he had the best receiver coach that ever can coach him. Dre see how he run routes. Dre
he compliments Caleb Williams like he would do with Patrick Mahomes because of their playing style. I get that, guys, because he does that. We're talking about a guy. We talk about a guy that can take over the field, man. Come on.
We ain't got that. You got that. Look, you got that in these two, right? You know what I mean? Like Pro Football Focus Fantasy betting, and they put this out. They said, which KC receiver will finish in the better fantasy wide receiver next season? Hollywood Brown or Rasheed Rice. Everybody gonna go with the speed. Everybody gonna go with Rice. You know what I mean? Because the possession after catch. And I told you guys. You remember when Rasheed Rice was getting the ball? Who I kept calling them guys? Mm-hmm. I said a baby Larry Fitzgerald. He plays like Larry Fitzgerald. Then when he start coming on, you start seeing it that like, hey, he plays like Larry Fitzgerald. I know I'll be up to like 5 in the morning, 3 in the morning, looking at these guys. You know what I mean? It got called. Some people say man crush. Some people say Hollywood Brown. Some people say TMZ. I'm just a man of focus, and I focus on talent I see. The one thing I know is when Dre coached his boys, right? I watched Dre. Dre coached his sons. I never seen a little kid like Zion. That's his young son.
Yeah,
he plays with heart. Like this little guy plays with heart. He comes out there. He try to play with the big guys. He try to play with the big guys, and he hold his own. And his other son is gonna get scouted by colleges and everything else. A little Dre. That's what I'm saying is like when you have a father that's no football and locks in on it. Mm-hmm. That's why I'm saying, like a Brennan Rice, you have the best receiver to ever play the game. They've been coaching you since you was little.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If I'm the Kansas City Chiefs, I'm not taking it. I'm not gonna let him fall like into this.
Yeah.
If he's there, I'm taking it.
Good point.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna rise to the end of the first round. Now, if the Chiefs drop back in the second round, maybe he slips there. I mean, again, most projections have him in the third round somewhere. Even some have him projected at the end of the third round when the Chiefs are picking. So, listen, I think he's a guy they have a strong interest in. He's definitely high on the draft board, but they've got a lot of needs. And another comment here from Anonymous Mango. This is his prediction. Tackle 1, receiver 2, defensive tackle, tight end, running back, cornerback, wide receiver, get another linebacker. All things they need. I would say probably they're going to have to draft a guard in there somewhere as well, just in case. But, the Chiefs, they got cap space now. They got cap space after the draft.
But one rumor I'm hearing out there, I'm hearing number 77 is the new left tackle. You know what I mean? A lot of people ain't talking about it. He's fully healthy now. What's his name? I keep on forgetting his name.
Lucas Niang?
Yeah, Liang. Where was Lang?
Niang? I don't know, man.
I'm hearing it. That's why I heard it. I heard it last night. You know what I mean? I stepped in on the conversation. There's a couple of people watching the NAWA. I was there at the championship last night, and I seen a lot of little Chiefs people in there, and I was hearing the talks with, the mayor was right there. I was hearing a little bit. I was like, oh, I heard a little too much. But
I heard the mayor has a direct pipeline to Veach, and he's
that's
always in his ear about players.
That's all he has is a direct pipeline to people. Fix the crime issue in Kansas City first.
No one's questioning the man crush you have on Brennan Rice. You jumped off of Brian. You jumped off of Brian Thomas and like 5 other guys, but that's okay.
I ain't jump off of nobody.
We're not questioning that he's going to be good. But again,
I'm gonna bring that meme on the show.
The draft is all about getting value, and the fact that there's really 15 receivers that are really showing all the skills, all the athletic ability. And I mean, I don't know if it's going to be like this moving forward, but I can't remember a group this big being so highly regarded, and especially with the speed. There were so many 4.3s at the combine this year. Now, again, that doesn't guarantee success. It may not be, that big of a deal, but the fact that the guys are getting faster, that they're being actually regarded as first.
He said, "I heard it for the voice of my head."
There you go. There's so many guys that he may fall into the third round just because of the fact that there's so many guys and people are all looking for value.
You know what I think would be crazy for the Chiefs is that if they went wide receiver around 1, 2, and 3, and they got 3 young guys to go with Rice and hopefully keep
Packers
Brown.
did it.
And you're right. The Packers did that, and I don't think that's a terrible idea. If they can solve the left tackle problem,
if they can get that,
why not go 1, 2, 3 with receivers?
What, Driver, Nelson, Jennings? Really? That will be something to see, because we haven't seen it since the Packers.
None of those guys were first-round picks.
I mean, I know Lou, but I'm saying, but as far as the talent goes, you know what I'm saying? Like, if they say draft all 3 young receivers.
The Packers are all about draft and develop. And some of these guys, like I said, the last group that they got, Jaden Reed, I believe, was a 2nd rounder. I think Wicks was like somewhere in the 5th or 6th round. They got Christian Watson the year before in the 2nd round. So they typically don't. And it's been ballyhoo. I mean, the whole time Rodgers was there, everybody just kept bitching about it, that they never draft him a receiver in the 1st round. And then finally, when he leaves, they start drafting a lot more weapons. So
but you know what? It, like, honestly, if you look at like what I have stated though, if you get, let's say you do get Liggett and Brandon Rice, I'm just hypothetical. You get both of them guys with Rice, that offense is going to be dominant. That offense is going to be clearly dominant. So I can see it. I can see it from that standpoint. I can see it. Yeah, why not? I mean, what you gonna do now?
All right, get into some of the questions, Dre.
Get into some of the questions, sir. Let's see. Let's see here real quick. What are Todd's views on Malik Washington? Yeah, Todd, what's your views on Malik Washington? Oh, no.
What's your view?
Malik Washington, he's a pretty good guy, but he's number, Crosby or not, he's a number 10 on my board. If I can turn this camera around, I can show you the whiteboard. He's a number 10 on my board. You know what I mean? He's a pretty good kid, but you know me a lot. Hey, like I showed Dre yesterday. I showed Dre what? Johnny Wilson. Dre was like, "Oh, I didn't know." I said, "Watch it again. You gotta watch Johnny Wilson, man. Johnny Wilson, the 6'7". Go ahead, Dre. What you got?
Let me piggyback off Washington, because I do my due diligence too, sir. I do my due diligence. I'm gonna say this. He is a stud because he's the yard after catch guy. He's the yak guy. He's the yard after the catch guy. You put that boy in that scheme with Andy Reid.
Now this is the kid. This is the kid from Virginia, right?
Absolutely.
He's smaller than Hollywood.
He's smaller, but the heart is big though.
Not a big guy, right?
But the heart is big though. But the heart is big because he's hard to take down too, though, Lou. It's hard to take down the open field.
But again, not to get back on Brennan Rice. He you look at T.O., look at Brennan Rice, you have the same person. That's all I'm saying.
We'll see about that one. I'm not there yet. Just because he's Jerry Rice's kid, I'm not going to sit here and say.
Hold on, Drake. I'm giving everybody some homework assignment on this show. Come back on Friday. You gotta go watch the tape and go watch the pro day of him and Caleb Williams. He was showing up. He didn't have his hands on his hip. he was still out there. He dropped the pass. He started doing 60 push-ups and got right back up. And then went back out there and got another pass. I'm just saying, like, and his daddy was just sitting up in the stand just watching. He was way up in the stand with binoculars, just sitting there watching.
Was he up in Northern California running that hill like Jerry used to run? Does he have him out there doing that? Most guys would go there and try to run it with Jerry, and they couldn't make it.
So let me ask you this though, because Marvin Harrison,
he's been running with him. Right. Oh no, Dre. He asked a question. Lou asked me a question. He said, he been running with him all his life, right?
I don't know. I don't know.
And where did he come from? I'm not going to get very graphic. I'm not going to get very graphic on this show. I'm just saying that he's been running with him all his life.
I thought you had footage. Okay.
So let me say this. Let me say this real quick. Marvin Harrison's Jr.'s dad, Marvin Harrison, same way with Jerry Rice. And you see the same production. So you was like, well, I'm going to take Brennan Rice because his father. Same thing with Marvin Harrison Jr.
No.
Why not take a Hall of Famer? What? Huh?
His production.
That's what I'm saying. Marvin Harrison's production is just as high.
The thing I'm going to explain to everybody on this show. The thing is why I'm saying Brennan Rice, and why I'm saying the other guys, is because realistic, Neighbor's not going to be there for the Chiefs.
He's flying up the draft boards.
Right? I mean, Harrison ain't gonna be there for the Chiefs. The other guys ain't gonna be there for the Chiefs. I'm being realistic with who can be there when the Chiefs pick. That's why I look at those guys and I brought them all down the board. Okay, then they said get a guy that can be Patrick Mahomes friendly. Okay, they thought Tony was gonna be Patrick Mahomes friendly. They thought Sky Moore and everybody else. But you go back and look at Brennan Rice tape and you go see how he and they say Caleb Williams played just like Patrick Mahomes. So you see how he runs around. He gets open when a play is breaking down. He's not just standing there like, oh, what I do next? He's running the whole field trying to find where's the quarterback at? Where can I get open at?
One thing I would say, Todd, is it is a learned skill, right? I mean, Rashee Rice was able to figure out. I mean, if they get the guy with the traits, he can get Patrick friendly. It's not some crazy thing.
But Lou, you watch Brennan, you watch Rice coming out of from the Mustangs, right? Yeah, you watched him, right? But and that's how he was already playing, correct?
He was their number one receiver. He's one of the toppers. He was the leading receiver in NCAA. I mean,
Yak and pass interference penalties against him and everything. I mean, he was the right pick, obviously.
Yeah. Now he didn't play at USC, so you didn't really, obviously playing in the conference that he plays versus the Pac-12 this past year, you don't have the shine on you, and especially playing with a Caleb Williams.
Right.
I have no idea who the SMU quarterback was at the time. So, but he was leading the country in those stats.
Yeah.
Again, that's not everything, but it is a learned thing. The other guys can get Patrick friendly.
Yeah.
So Dre, look, as you know, we do this. We've been doing this draft thing for years. We've been doing it for years, Nick. And now Dre, correct me if I was wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. But Nico Harmon was there, and DK Metcalf was there. Who I say take? DK Metcalf. I was like, I was nailing on the horn. I was nailing on the horn. I said, get DK Metcalf. Everybody was like, oh, he's just a tech. I said, he's gonna come out and be legit.
Let me say one thing about that.
I'm gonna go down the list.
I don't think anybody that was doing mock drafts had McCole Hardman anywhere near the second.
That was a Tyreek Hill thing.
That was out of left field.
Right. I'm just saying, like when the Chiefs was picking, I said, okay, go get DK. He's there. And then Watkins from Green Bay. Look how he's turning out. You know what I mean? Yep. I was like, go get him. Go get this kid. He's there. Look at him. He's fit with everything you want to do. Right. Put on a little more muscle, you're gonna be this guy. And the same thing I did, with George Pickens. Everybody saw I was a George Pickens guy. I'm just saying, like I see traits of a receiver. I like that a receiver that got that dog in him.
There you go. I want that dog in you. I want that dog in you.
I'm guessing DK, as far as Veach was concerned, was like everybody else in the league. They were concerned about his neck injury. I mean, that's and I understand, of course, much better player, AJ Brown. Okay, let's go, right? Terry McLaurin, let's go. But
I'm saying them guys. I'm understanding that them guys I'm talking about when the Chiefs was picking what we had when we was doing on the show on the draft board. We wrote them down and we follow these guys. We wrote them down. So okay, we're gonna circle this person. We're gonna follow them and see where their career goes and see how it goes. 5 years down the line. But again, now this the guy I'm gonna circle. Now before this stuff started, I said Brennan Rice and I switched.
Brennan Rice is your guy. You are on record, my friend. Let's
on record. I'm circling it down, and this is y'all gonna eat y'all words, and I'm gonna play back these tapes. I'm gonna say, y'all remember all y'all was laughing
We're not doubting he's gonna be a good player. We just don't see him.
I feel so sorry. I feel so sorry for you if he's on the Raiders or the Chargers.
I tell y'all what. If it comes down to me, my opinion, if it comes down to Brennan Rice or Leggett, like Bo just stated, DK Metcalf to me, even though he had neck injury, that man was a legit stud. He had
Yes, Mango. So, I am drafting Brennan Rice at number one.
I'll tell you what. If Leggett is there, he's the biggest steal after the draft. If Legett's there, he's the biggest steal. I mean, whoever gets Leggett, man, I'm telling you, he's a steal. Yeah, he's a steal.
Yeah. Well, where they got him going? Where they got him going, Lou?
Xavier Leggett. I mean, he is again. You hear all these different things, and it's hard. It's hard to really. You hear what the media says, and it's hard to know, what the coaches really think of them. And then now because the coaches come into this process later, you've got scouts that have been following the kid probably since he's in high school, right? Coaches come in the Senior Bowl, they look at him for the first time, the combine happens. And, they could go anywhere. So I've heard, or I've seen different mocks where they have him mocked in the end of the first round, some in the second round, some dropping him into the third round because it was only 1 year that he really did well this past season. Now you can say, hey, Spencer Rattler was there. So he finally had a quarterback. So again, there's a lot more that goes into this than just seeing what the measurables are and a little bit of production. You talk about that dog. You got to be able to talk to the kid. You got to look at him in the face. You got to be able to ask some questions and do some things and really find out what they are as a human being. Are they going to come in and work? Are they fit into your culture that is all about winning and that's the only thing? So I've seen him as high as late first, as low as the third.
Yeah, the third. So now looking at the draft, guys, I had this question. My son asked me the question yesterday. He said, so Daddy, would you say the Super is the draft the next biggest thing to the Super Bowl? Is the draft bigger than the Pro Bowl? Is it bigger than the Super? Which one is bigger? Everybody knows the Super Bowl is big.
Sure.
But what's the next runner up?
For 31 teams?
For 30, it has to be the draft. I mean, the Pro Bowl is just a glorified. I don't even know what it is.
I don't know what it is. Good point.
Back then it was great.
And the Pro Bowl used to be great.
How old is your son?
He's 16.
Right. So his history, I mean, he's just now, he probably, he loves the Pro Bowl games. It's very exciting. I mean, it's for a younger person. It's cool to see these guys doing other things. Right. So his perspective is different, right?
Yeah, he said the draft though.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Good for him. Draft for 31 teams, just about everybody outside of the Super Bowl winner. This is kind of okay. We're going to get better today.
There you go.
So when we was at the draft, was it last year? Man, you should have seen all them kids on there. Them kids was loving. They knew what pick. They were so hyped that they team like Drake's son. He was over there. We was like, where he at? He over there with all the Eagle fans. They over there cheering him up. He over there like because he's a big Eagle fan.
My son asked me. He say, "Pops, is the draft in Kansas City again?" He thinks it's in Kansas City, but I said, "Nah, it's in Detroit, it's in D-town." Because my son had the Eagles hat on. My son was by my. He was by my side the whole time. Like, Pop, he's Eagles this and break it down to Eagles. I'm like, my son, he's an Eagles fan, but he loved the experience though. He loved the experience of being around that. So
you know what was great about that, because that was a bucket list item for me. I'd never been to the NFL draft, and being outside and running into people, the fan bases of the people that we ran into were just so cool and so nice and so fun to hang around. The guy who was in the Eagles uniform in particular, man, he just talked with every Chiefs fan. He talked to Vikings fans. We were hanging out with a bunch of Vikings people, and it was so much fun just to see that camaraderie there. And that's what this is all about. That's what I think makes the NFL draft so unique, is that you've got all these fan bases that are together in one place, and they're not overly inebriated. They're passionate about their players and their team, and they have a lot of respect for the fan bases on other teams. Now, game day is completely different. It's warrior mentality. It's like the old AFL days. You hate these guys on Sundays and they're your best friends on Monday. And I just thought it was really great. So to answer your question, to me, it's the Super Bowl. It's the first 4 days of the NCAA basketball tournament. It's the NFL draft. Those are the kinds of things that just bring everybody together in a way that's so different and so unique. But, I love what Kansas City did last year. I hope they get another chance in 10 years or so to host another draft. But, that to me is just – that was one of the coolest experiences in my life.
It was special, man.
And it's hope, and everybody walks away thinking they won.
Yep. Everybody thought all 32 teams.
Everybody, absolutely.
Let's go. Let's get after it. Clean slate. Let's do it.
Can you imagine, out of all the sports, the draft, the NFL draft is the biggest draft out of all the sports that people look forward to. Ain't no NBA, no hockey, no baseball. It's the NFL. They dominating in the draft. It's crazy. It's like that's the second spectacle besides the Super Bowl.
The Super Bowl, yeah. So what you got? What you got for us on Chiefs Who today, Nick? Luke. What you got for us today?
Oh boy, here we go. This is what everybody's tuning in for. It's the fastest growing game on YouTube. Mark my words. Hence, strike up the band. Here we go. For those of you coming to the Chiefs Who the first time, I'm going to read some pretty. I don't know. Sometimes I drink a little bit when I come up with these clues, so bear with me. Otherwise, let's get into it. You guess who this Chief is, and let's see if our panel can come up with it as well. All right, this Chief, originally from Phoenix. There's no I in team and no I in his name. He had his biggest games on big stages. He's been quoted recently saying, "My next step is to be that guy everybody knows."
Joshua Williams.
Good guess. Not it. He played.
Got him.
He played with another Chief in college.
Brian Cooks.
No. There was plenty of sunshine on the field back in college days.
Kareem says Watson.
Nope.
Joseph says
Elvis Gerbach.
That's a good one. Okay, what do we got here? You might call him Snowman.
I think I know who that is. I know how that is. I know who it is. Dang, I can't get the name out of my head.
Kadarius Toney.
He was a real tiger.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
This one will give it away. One of his teammates back at school always dressed to a T.
Harrison Buckner.
No, Nick Bolton.
Bolton.
That was a good one.
Says
That
Bolton.
When I heard Tiger,
That's all the clues I have, folks.
All right. Well, nobody won. Wait.
Joseph said Gonzalez.
Joseph said Gonzalez.
We'll give people a few more seconds. It is a current chief. It usually is a current chief. I haven't gone historical. Maybe we'll do that in the summer.
Mix the questions up again. Just mix them back and forth. And
Humphreys. Cree Humphreys.
No I in team and no I in his name. Played with another chief in college.
Creed Humphrey and Hollywood Brown were teammates in college, according to Blake.
Right.
Plenty of sunshine on the field in those days.
Well, he said Justin Ross. John says Justin Ross.
John Harrison for the win. Let's go.
John.
Way to go. I think that's 2 in a row for Justin. I think he got Creed, didn't he?
Maybe, I don't know.
All right. So
all right, John, send me an instant message.
Here we go.
I will send you a
Justin Ross, he's originally from Phoenix City, Alabama. There's no I in team. Of course, there's no I in his name. He spells his first name with a Y. His biggest games on the biggest stage: Cotton Bowl, 148, 2 TDs, college football championship, 153 and a touchdown. He was a real Tiger. Obviously, went to Clemson. I played with Cornell Powell at Clemson. Plenty of sunshine on the field in those days. That's my tip of the cap to remember the Titans. Right. Sunshine and Trevor Lawrence.
That was a good one.
Always dressed to a T. Played with T. Higgins. And you might call him Snowman because of the number 8.
Nice. Very good.
So our runner is John Harrison.
John Harrison is our winner. So thank you for playing.
If we can get him on the field, if we can get Justin Ross on the field, that's a real winner. We can get that man on the field, guys.
Yes.
Get him
Brought to you by Eric Haynes.
Eric Haynes at the Eric Haynes group. Definitely. Hey, listen, we can talk about the draft, and we've kind of glossed over the L'Jarius Sneed situation, but, all last year we gave we had a young man on this football team that Andre just disliked, and he ended up in the second half of the season playing really, really well. And even though there's a lot of talk that Azeez Johnson could be a starter for the Chiefs this season, Joshua Williams to me is that guy who had a lot to prove last year, a lot to answer for. And now that Sneed's out of the way, even though they don't quite do some of the same things. Williams doesn't have that, blitz speed. But, we got to give this kid some love because I thought his play in the second half season and into postseason was some of the best cornerback play that they had. And I love that picture on the right. That's just a great picture.
Look at his eyes.
His eyes, man. He's focused.
That's Mike Singletary there, man.
Yeah, that is a Mike Singletary look.
Coming for your heart.
Hey, look at them eyes though. Them eyes stand out to me. Them eyes
got the proper hand placement there. He's gonna catch that ball.
Yeah, put him at wide receiver. You never know.
Big eyes, hand coordination. There it is. Eye-hand coordination. That's what I'm gonna call that.
But I have high hopes for the balance of his career in Kansas City. I think he's going to have a really good year. I'm excited to watch his development because you always want to root for the guys that, he played well in his rookie season at times, made some big plays in the postseason. But this year, he just kind of put it together when he finally understood everything that Spags wanted him to do. And of course, it was all because of Coach Dre. Dissing the guy, saying he stinks, saying he's no good. He's not NFL caliber. And he willed it into the universe. And the NFL gods said, you know what, Andre, you are wrong. And so now the Chiefs have more depth at the cornerback position to absorb the loss of L'Jarius Sneed.
He's been known to engage on social media too. So maybe he's listening. Joshua, if you're listening, feel free to comment. We invite that, man. Bring it on.
Yeah,
Love it.
Yeah, man, love it, man. You gotta get beat down to rise up, man. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get beat down to rise up.
I've said it before, but I've had a soft spot in my heart since we interviewed Joshua. He was still a senior at Fayetteville State, Division II HBCU was the beginning of his senior season, and was just a gentleman. And what he was able to do from that level to get himself drafted in the 4th round. I mean, I would imagine the face-to-face with the teams, they just had to blow the Chiefs away at just how professional he was. But the fact that, that he's got the length, he's 6'2", long arms. So he's not going to be the same corner, like Nick said, not the same corner as L'Jarius Sneed. He's going to play a little bit differently. But typically with those X-type receivers, you want a bigger guy, longer guy that can get those 50-50 balls where it's more 60-40 to the defense. And so he's got every opportunity here. I believe Jalen Watson will have that opportunity as well. Yeah. In terms of the blitzing, I mean, it's going to be Sneed, it's going to be Shamari Connor, it'll be, whoever else, Nazeeh Johnson, whoever else is in there. But yeah, Joshua,
Sneed gone.
Like him a lot.
Yeah.
Well, listen, Joshua Williams is going to stand out, though. He is.
I got a chance to meet him. I got a picture with him at the Super Bowl. So last year's Super Bowl, not this year, but the last one when they played who was that?
The Eagles.
Forgot.
Yeah, I know. It's so long ago.
There's so many. There's so many. How can you keep track?
4 Super Bowls in 6 years. It's hard to keep track. I mean, I'm already lost.
Whatever.
But again, the kid has got great. He's got talent, and I hope that he comes out here and plays very well. But I wonder if he's going to get. He's going to go to a different number when that number 2 comes over here and Brennan Rice. I'll just say, is he going to give up the 2? Because Brennan Rice wants the 2 when he comes. But again, Joshua Williams, he has the size. He just got to put it all together, and we got to see what he has there. Like the beginning of his career, it was some bad play, some good play. His second year, he came around this year. He went back to his old number, his college number, and he played a little better this year. So that lets you know what the Chiefs is doing in that DB room. The defensive back coach is probably one of the best to ever do it. He's out here to turn these young men into stars. He making them believe in their talent. He elevating everything they have. So we will see what Joshua Williams do. I hope he come out and balls out this year. He have the size, he have the frame, he have the skill set to do it. But let's see, is he gonna? I'm not questioning his heart or questioning his mind frame, because you got to look at it. He excelled on special teams. He did. He was out there tackling people, out there stripping balls away, causing fumbles.
He did the dirty work. He did the dirty work.
He played very well. So
outstanding special teamer.
Hey, it's a reason why they let go L'Jarius Sneed, because they know they have
Joshua Williams.
They have talent in his back. They have talent.
Didn't have anything to do with the money. Nick, I see a lot of Albert Lewis in this kid.
Yeah,
he has the potential to be that type of player. Now,
Albert Lewis. Let me research on that.
Now again,
he was amazing.
He played for the Chiefs. Late 80s?
Yeah, he was in the
late 80s.
Yeah, he and Kevin Ross came to the Chiefs I think around the same time, and they were the best. They were the best cornerback tandem.
Absolutely.
In history.
Duron Cherry and at safety and Lloyd Burris. I mean, that was I think Cower was coaching those guys. Tony Dungy at one point was a defensive back coach. So but anyway, I think Albert Lewis, long, coming from a smaller school. I think Albert went to Grambling, and maybe it took him a while to kind of get the pro game down, but once he did, that dude was nails. And
he's a good special teamer.
I see a lot of that in Joshua Williams.
Yeah, I do, because his first couple of highlights with him on special teams blocking punts.
Yeah, that was one of his specialties.
Yeah, definitely. And guess what? Joshua Williams is outstanding in special teams, right?
He's more of a gunner, but yeah. Albert's coming off the edge, and he was just a great athlete.
I know when I was playing ball back in back in the day. They used to have you play gunner just to build your speed up. You know what I mean? I don't know what it's to build. If you have like speed issues, they trying to get you to get faster,
right,
and everything else. So they put you on gun on special teams to get you down there to don't be afraid to see what you can open up. What they used to call it back, open up your hips, open up your legs to get the horse to running. So if Joshua Williams
loose hips, do you have loose hips, Todd?
Loose
hips, you?
I don't know.
Oily hips.
I don't know.
This is a PJ 13 plus show.
All them hamstrings loose, sir.
You got to be able to turn, man. You can't have stiff hips. You got to be able to get.
But again, Joshua Williams is one of those guys. He was high on board. Dre got tired of me talking about him last year. He was like, he got tired of me talking about him when he got drafted. We went down there to Red Friday. We was doing videos, talking to people. He was like, stop it. Stop talking about Joshua Williams. But again, this proves it. Like I said, the guys I talk about, they end up rising up out of nowhere. So I'm just saying.
Let's hope he do rise up. Hey, I'm vouching for the guy this year now. Don't we do rise up.
Now, hold on, Drake. You remember I said bug you like I did Brennan Rice, right? I said go watch his tape. Now you look. I did it with Joshua Williams. Now you coming around, right? Ain't you coming around? I'm just saying.
Because I bashed his head in. Because I came his foot in his backside. You know what I'm saying? He had to get molded by me. I had to mold him. I had to really see who is this guy for real. But for me, from being a special team guy that excels in that level, then looking in coverage this year, he really didn't get beat, guys. Remember I said before the show, it was just better throws. That's all it was.
Some darn good quarterbacks in the NFL. They can make some tight throws. There's some good receivers.
Definitely.
You have to have size. You have to have speed. You got to have ball awareness. Those are things he kind of struggled with at times. But now he's kind of out of the spotlight, and he's going to be the guy that has to fit into what I think is still a really good secondary group.
Oh, definitely.
I don't think they're done adding, a veteran here or there, but they've got some young guys. And listen,
DJ Tampa.
Yeah, Merritt is a terrific cornerbacks coach. Spags. They've been in the system, so nothing's going to be new.
I like them.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. But I like his perseverance and how hard he's worked, and despite the outrage from the coach and how bad he thought he was, kidding on here. Just kidding.
That's right. That's right.
This is what you want, and this is the kind of he's a glue guy, and you got to have glue guys on defense, and he's the glue guy in the secondary as far as I'm concerned.
Most definitely.
And
Desmond, real quick. Hey, real quick, Bo. Desmond Bailey says at least he's not William Barty.
Wow. We can go down the list of bad.
But he got. I forgot his name. I know he was.
I don't even remember that one, Desmond. I'm sorry, man. I think I would remember.
Barty, number 24.
Never
really flourished.
Everybody had him on this show. I couldn't stand it. Where did he come from?
He was a draft pick.
Where?
How I couldn't stand Benny Set.
I
was like, come on,
guy.
I was like, Jesus Christ, he keep getting beat.
Benny lost me after the dog routine on the field. That was it.
But one of my favorite corners, other than Marcus Peters, that played for the Chiefs, was Sean Smith. Sean Smith. Yeah, Sean Smith. So that's what Joshua Williams will remind me of, like the size, the body style. He's more of a Sean Smith. But if he can gain speed, if I'm him, I'm locking in whoever training McDuffie. And I'm going all off season to go down there and train with McDuffie and to see how his playing style, how can I do it? Or if the receivers down there throwing with Patrick Mahomes, hey, I'm going up down there and I'm guarding you guys. Right. What else? What else you can get better at?
That's the way to do it. Like, to me, Richard Sherman, if you want to go to like style, Richard Sherman to me is a great guy to compare with Joshua Williams because of the length and the size. And Richard Sherman wasn't fast like that. He just had a high IQ for the game, and he knew his strengths and he knew his talent. So Joshua Williams can get there and use the IQ, use his head. Oh, he'll be phenomenal.
Yep.
He'll be phenomenal.
So we get into some more of these questions before we close out.
All right, let's see here what we got. Okay, Kareem says, how do we really feel about what kind of money Bolton should get?
He's not going to fall in the highest linebacker paid category. It'll be probably about twice what Drew Tranquill signed would be my guess. I think he's a great player. He's a perfect fit. I wouldn't put him in an elite category. I wouldn't put him in a Patrick Queen category. And I think that's probably the money his agent is going to look for, but he's a local kid, went to Mizzou, loves the Chiefs. Spags is not going to let him play for anybody else as long as he's the defensive coordinator, unless he becomes a head coach next year and then he starts to recruit him. But I think you can see Bolton get a contract probably twice, maybe a little bit more, twice the size of what Drew Tranquill got.
Yeah, that's another depressed market. Linebackers don't get paid like
just
they
don't get
used
value.
to. You don't have, and especially that kind of thumper guy, he's really had to like open up his game and be able to cover. Most teams anymore, if they're typically don't have more than 2 linebackers on the field, and normally it's just one because the other linebacker is like a safety pretty much. So it's not good. I don't think it's going to be a ton.
I think in that position, piggyback on what you just said, it's the IQ level playing linebacker, because you have to stand out. All the linebackers can thump, but it's your IQ level. It's your IQ. Like, can you call the defensive plays in the background? Can you read the offense? It's a lot of stuff to dealing with signing linebackers to big contracts, because it's your IQ. Can you read the offenses? Can you pay attention? That's why Ray Lewis and Luke Kuechly was so high. Because of that. So
to Nick's point, Spags would be the first one to tell you how smart Nick Bolton is, and how key he was to that. What was it, third down call where McDuffie came on the blitz and batted down the pass and forced him to kick a field goal, where it was like kind of Bolton was like, he was on the same page. Let's go. Yeah, let's stick with that call, because it wasn't something that they had. It was like, I think it was on their 4th down sheet, and he was like, okay, let's do this. And he was like so fired. He knew when Nick was like going, that it was the right call. So Spags definitely, Bolton is a Spags guy.
Right. Yeah, I feel like he should get his money, but I feel like the top linebacker is going to be Leo Chanel this year. I feel like he's going to step up. He's going to step up real big. You know what I mean? Mr. Death Row himself, the speed, and he can play DN, and he can play. If it wasn't for him, I don't think the Chiefs would have won that Super Bowl. We can be honest. Leo Chanel, if it wasn't for him, the block punt, the block field goal, the fumble, the big stops in the backfield, the guy was relentless. So when you see him, when I see him coming out in his 3rd year, I feel like he's going to be one of the top linebackers that'll be coming in.
They have 3 terrific linebackers in Chanel and in Bolton, and Tranquill. I mean, that's as good as it gets for what Spags runs and expects from his guys, on defense. And that's an area the Chiefs probably need to get a little bit more depth. I mean, Willie Gay, speaking of linebackers that didn't get paid, he only got $3 million with incentives that maybe pushes it to 5. So, when you got the Chiefs have their good trio of linebackers, it's not Bobby Bell, Willie Lanier, and Jim Lynch, but for today's NFL, they're all 3 versatile. They all understand each other. And I think they played some of their best football together, in the second half of the season and in the postseason. So I'm excited to see that going forward.
I thought Cam Jones.
I was about to say Cam Jones.
For the opportunities that he got when he got to play on defense, because he's a great special teams player as well. But the speed that
I can't believe he went undrafted, Lou. I believe he went undrafted.
I think that was an injury thing too at Indiana. I mean, he had his issues with injuries, and he kind of came back during the process, leading up to the draft. But I think that's why, Willie, they weren't going to pay him much money, because I think they see Cam Jones fitting that role if needed. Because like you said, the top 3 guys, I mean, Leo is just a crazy athlete. I don't think people kind of realize that yet.
Right.
If they don't yet, but he is an amazing athlete. So they can use him in multiple different ways. Like you said, edge rusher, absolutely.
You know what's crazy? Real quick, the Chiefs draft. If y'all notice, as far as the defensive wise, linebackers wise, right? They draft speed. All their linebackers is fast.
Mm-hmm.
All their linebackers is fast, and speeds make. To me, I think having elite speed at that position. Absolutely.
They don't get to play.
Absolutely. So the Chiefs got some fast linebackers, guys. I mean, some fast linebackers that can cover. I mean, why not have fast? Like them old school linebacker days is over. They just enough speed. These guys are flying around covering receivers now. They covering slot guys now. They covering tight ends now. So if you can't do those, and to be a dominant linebacker, yeah, you're not gonna get paid.
That's probably the biggest difference in how this defense evolved, not just with the players they drafted, but just the overall speed of the defense.
Right, absolutely.
Right. I mean, from back to front, everybody can run, and the tackling was amazing. So, to your point, if you can't run, you can't play on this defense. So, you're probably not even going to be in tryouts, right?
You're going to be in tryouts, bro.
If you're a linebacker and you're not running sub 4.6, you're not playing.
Yeah.
All right, Nick, get into some of these questions from.
Well, Desmond Bailey, Chanel has speed and size, 9.99 RAS score, which is insane. Both Kareem and Desmond, like Jeremiah Trotter Jr. I think I'm pretty sure his dad was drafted too in the NFL as well. You got guys who, I think we talked about the Barty thing. We don't know about the money that Bolton's going to get, but the Chiefs are set at linebacker. They've got some depth. They probably need a little bit more. At the end of the day, that's what you want, now that you've lost, a couple of defenders that you were counting on to fill certain roles. So Chiefs are in a good spot right now defensively. I think they're going to be just fine.
So with that said, let's get into our sponsor before we close.
All right, let's do it. First, we're going to talk about my good friend, Mr. Eric Haynes. With the Eric Haynes Group, he is your trusted real estate advisor. He is my trusted real estate advisor and also one of my very, very good friends. You can give Eric a call at 816-729-3785. If you're looking for someone who can buy and sell your house in the Kansas City or surrounding communities, I'm in the surrounding communities, a little south, but, he has walked me through the process. My wife and I appreciate all of his efforts to date, and he helped us get to the point where we close a week from Friday, and we're going to move into our brand new house, and we're so excited about it, and it's because Eric had the opportunity and the wherewithal and the guts to deal with somebody like me. And he ended up getting it done. So if you want someone who's going to get you through the entire process, give Eric a call at 816-729-3785.
Proud sponsor of Chief Who.
Very proud sponsor of Chiefs Who. So that next sponsor would be Mr. Dave Purdy. He is your mortgage loan specialist. What is a mortgage loan specialist? A mortgage loan specialist is someone who can decipher and find the best rate, whether you're a 1099 employee or self-employed. Give Dave a call at 816-405-5831 just to have a conversation. You don't have to pull credit. See what your current mortgage is. See what your debts are. See if there's opportunity that can save you money. It's still a very good time to buy a house, and rates are moving downward. It's also an election year, so they're going to go down probably 2 or 3 times this year. So you want someone who can at least at this point evaluate where you are, and if you have plans in the future to get a house and you need financing, Dave Purdy's your guy. Give him a call at 816-405-5831. We love Dave because he is pretty good.
Go ahead, Drake.
So let me give a quick shout out to James Green. Just said, hello, guys. Great show. Kareem, what's going on? Desmond Bailey. All right, let's give a shout out. Chiefs Blitz again. John, what's going on, John? How you doing, sir? Let's see. John, both Johns, I believe. Blake Bammers. Shout out to John Harrison again for winning Chiefs Who. For winning Chiefs Who, guys. Joseph, what's going on, Joseph, man? Love the love. Let's see here. Let's see what we got. Anonymous Mango, of course. Always bringing the good stats and the good what I want to say, whatever. I can't get to it right now, but it doesn't even matter. Lego, what's going on? Lego, my ego, what's going on? Appreciate the love again. And Joseph V, what's going on again, guys? Keep the love coming. Let me see if I forget anybody. Chiefs concerns, hello, what's going on? Love the love, God. Keep it coming. Let's see here. Yep, I think I got just about everybody. Do y'all agree? Oh, Frank, what's going on? Frank, what's going on?
We got Coach Drake.
Gary. Oh, Coach Drake! I
don't
know where Coach Drake.
Who
knows?
We're supposed to block that guy.
Oh, you forgot. You forgot Frank too.
There
Frank.
I just said Frank, sir. I just said Frank.
Okay.
Happy
Frank
Canada. It looks like there was a new one in there. I hadn't seen that one before. Tad Schroeder or Schrader?
Yeah, Tad.
Yeah.
Final question of the show.
Okay, come on with it.
Patrick Paul from Houston seems like an ideal size for Andy's tackle. Thoughts? I don't know enough about him, so I can't comment.
I can't go deep into that situation right now because I already got two.
He's one of my 7 picks on the offensive tackles. I will go more the guy from Penn State. If I had to, if I had to go tackle with 32, I'm going to guy from Penn State. He's more big, or to go for a guy from Oklahoma. Oklahoma always got some big,
or Mizzou, or Mizzou. There's some guys coming from Mizzou.
Yeah, but again, I got the light blocking my board, so I can't see the name on there. So that's why I said the guy.
I tell you what. Let's all root for Joe. Oh, guys, who knows the draft? It's different scenarios in the draft.
Hey, if that happened, I'm all for it.
Hey, Jim Harbaugh is pumping up JJ McCarthy, trying to get him to go like in the top 3 or 4 picks. They're going to be sitting there at 5, and just Joe Alt's going to fall in his lap, and that's going to be like a marriage made in heaven. Jim Harbaugh with a big ass offensive tackle. Now they've got Rashawn Slater there, right? But hey. Harbaugh, it's going to be guards and tackles, and they're going to build that thing from the inside out. So, I think
Nick said he's going JJ McCarthy. He probably going JJ.
No, honestly, it could be the shock of the draft, but they trade and get him.
It won't be a shock. If anybody knows Harbaugh, it's not going to be a shock.
Ooh, Nick said it won't be a shock.
The guy's living in a motorhome right now. I mean, no.
Damn right he is.
I'm telling you guys, he wants a very specific kind of quarterback.
He wants a very specific offensive lineman. That's what he wants.
Exactly. So I know what he's angling to do. Lose hitting the nail on the head on that one. It's going to go to the Chargers.
So with that said, guys, we'll be back Friday at noon. Guys, I love you. Love all you guys for tuning in, and congratulations to the what's his name again? I can't see it.
We will not forget the name, so you will announce that man's name.
I'm not on the screen. I'm on the producer screen right now. I can't see the name.
John Harrison,
yeah,
sir.
Congrats,
John Harrison. Okay, John Harrison.
Put that on your whiteboard, sir.
John Harrison. I think he wasn't he the 5th Beatle?
I'll put you on my whiteboard. I'm pinning you right up.
I'm pretty sure he was the 5th Beatle.
Yeah. Okay.
I believe it.
So with that said, man, we'll be back Friday. Subscribe, share, away if you love our content. We bring in more stuff. We got more stuff that's coming, and more stuff in the windpipes. And also, man, be here Friday. Bring your coffee, bring your hot chocolate, wherever you're at, your slippers, to watch the show. Put us up on your
favorite Chiefs Lucky Undies. Bring all of that.
All right. If you missed the show, you can go on Spotify, Apple Play, and all the other stuff.
It's all out there.
Listen to us there. You know what I mean? So with that said, guys, we'll be back Friday. We're out.
Peace out.
Yeah, get it.